get it from her mama. Ooh, she get it from her mama. Hey, she get it from her mama. Ooh, she get it from her mama.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, and I am back with another video.
Hey.
This is Mommy. This is
Hey.
episode 2 of the Smothered series, and it's gonna be some tea today because this lady, she crazy. Okay, so
I am not crazy. I am just
you're just smothered.
I'm
That's it. You're just smothered and protective.
I'm just smothered.
So basically, what we are going to talk about today is experiences with me dating while being in a smothered relationship with my mommy. And shout out to my girl Charnel for these shirts that say I get it from my mama.
Check it out.
She got it from me, you know, because we're like one and the same. Okay, so thank you, girl, for the shirts. I appreciate it.
Mick and I, we're gonna say a quick prayer, and then we're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. Give me your hand, sis. That's right. Lord God, we thank you for this opportunity, Lord Jesus. We praise your holy name. We thank you for the resolve and not the results, and we're so excited to share our story. Amen.
Amen.
Now, guys, I hope you guys did look at the other video, but this was going to be a little bit more intense. Don't do that.
So,
don't do that.
It was Thanksgiving. And we were all at my grandma's house, my cousins, you know, my sibling, my, you know, aunts, uncles, etc. So, you know, on Thanksgiving, the movies is still, you know, open later on in the evening time. So I was supposed to go to the movies. This guy asked me to go to the movies with him. So my mom said I could go. So I left my grandma's house where everybody was, and she drove me to the guy's house, you know, well, to his mother's house.
Yeah.
And she walked me in to kind of meet his mom and see what was going on. So when we walk in, we first of all almost got hit by the door by his cousins, the girl cousins that were running all around because they were having a Thanksgiving celebration as well.
They were too big.
They were running all
around, all
around, teenagers. They almost hit us with a door. Nobody said sorry or anything like that. And then it was just people everywhere. And then as my mother describes it, his mother came sashaying out the back like she was Queen Sheba.
Wait, no, let me just jump in, okay? Just real quick, guys, okay? Like she said, when we first got there, it was kind of like a lot going on. But you know how it is during the holidays when your family's around, there's kids everywhere. But once I almost got, slapped in the face, make both of us with the door, I was trying to get myself together just from that. And then his mother, she came out there like, like she was just, and I was like, okay, sis, okay. She was like, Mom, so-and-so's mom. I was like, okay. So then the grandmother and, you know, a couple of people still, you know, standing around. And then, Meg, back to you.
So apparently she wasn't happy with the scenery, okay? She wasn't happy with what was going on. Because prior to that, I forgot to tell you guys this part. On our way to his house, he contacted me some kind of way and said that his mom said, can my mom...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Can my mom help carry all of the cousins and kids to the movies in her car? And my mom kind of felt like, you know, if you're asking my daughter to go out on a date, you need to have the transportation. Like, I shouldn't be helping you haul all these children back and forth. That's not what I signed up for. Right. I just was dropping her off.
I didn't want to be bothered that day. I really didn't.
That was already strike one. And then when she walked in and the mother was kind of acting like she was just all of that and not really interested in getting to meet another parent or whatever. Right. It was just a lot. It was a lot. So my mom, next thing you know, we standing there. I guess we were trying to figure out, like, okay, first of all, I wasn't nowhere to sit. It wasn't nowhere for me to sit. You know, he hadn't said, come on in, let's go here. Like, it was just kind of, we was just awkward. Like, we was just standing there. Nobody kind of told us where to go or what to do. So next thing you know, my mom was like, hey, Meg, come outside. So I'm like, okay. So So I step outside and just, outside the door, and I just close the door. She was like, no, come here. So she has me walking. So I walked like halfway down the driveway, and she was like, no, come to the car. I'm like, okay. So I walked to the car.
She was getting annoyed.
I'm like, what is she doing? So she was like, no, get in. So I get in the car, but I have like my foot out of the car with the door open. Yeah. I'm not even paying attention to the fact that she already done cranked the car up and put the car in drive. She said, no, close the door. I closed the door. That lady took off. I was like, Mom.
The door was still halfway open.
She took
and she was like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? Where are you taking me? I'm like, I'm taking your butt back home. I said, because I didn't sign up for all of this. He kept calling her, what happened? And she just finally told him it was a family emergency.
It was so embarrassing though, because not even 20, 30 minutes later, I'm back at the house and my family, they was giving me all this grief, like, oh, Megan going on a date,
Yeah.
So I get back to the house.
She just started dating, really. She just started dating, so it was like a really big deal.
I slammed the door. I'm mad. They like, what happened? I thought she was going on a date. I'm like, this lady, that's what happened. Lady right here.
All I felt, all in my shanana, this is not going to end well.
It's funny now, but at the time, I was just like,
she was like so embarrassed.
I was so embarrassed.
I sure did.
Okay, you guys, so now we're going to move on to another smothered situation in dating where my mom, she even started getting my dad on board with this. But my mom started doing background checks on the people that I would date. No lie, no joke.
Guys, do y'all know how much money her dad and I spent on background checks?
And it don't help. They still crazy.
And I had to even call in a couple of favors with people that, I knew that worked for the courts. And there were times when I found things, and then when she would force you to go out on a date, and there'll be dates I'm going on too, I just happen to show up, be like, oh, hey. So I just happen to sit down with her. I just happen to be in the area. And we get to talking, and everything. And I said, well, tell me about yourself. And they get the, oh, I'm this and this. And I'm like, okay, so you don't have any records or anything, do you? Hadn't ever been in trouble? No, ma'am. And so I'll just do this. Well, okay, let me give up. Well, according to this right here, you were locked up for this for a DUI in 1998.
And this would be my face by this point.
Like, right here, you owe child support. You told me you didn't have a kid. So, you want to try that again? I sure did. So, I was not playing. Because these people are crazy. They are crazy. And then one guy thought he got me left. Yeah, bye, boo-boo. Because you just sat there, you lied to her, and you just lied to me. You didn't expect I was going to pull out this sheet of paper in my purse. So, I sure did. Well, let me tell you, the one that really, I'm serious, really had, more so me food. Her dad was like, he ain't right. I said, baby, you sure? And the more I thought about it, it's like, it's something. And then my husband like, you did do the background check. You did the background check. I'm like, babe, I did the background check. But right now, everything seemed to be going good. He's a very attractive guy, no kids, has a good job. He went to college and everything. He's living in California now.
So we thought.
Okay.
So we thought.
So, I'm like, babe, let's just let it ride and we'll go on. So Megan, I'm gonna let you go on and start this one, because I'm gonna tell y'all, and this wasn't like a date. This was a relationship, a hot mess.
Okay, so this is what happened. I met this guy. We met each other through mutual friends, and we were just
like
cool.
12th grade?
Yeah, I met him when I was in 12th grade, but we weren't talking, and we were just cool. We were friends. So then later, as I went on to college and kind of had been there for a little bit, that's when we kind of started back talking. So at that point, we started kind of dating. And naturally, we're going to ask, like, okay, what do you have going on in your life right now? What do I have going on? I'm in college. And at that point, he was supposedly in college, or almost done with college. And he was supposed to be doing an internship in LA with the Dodgers doing sports medicine. Now, what made this believable was the fact that, because he would like pop up on me, like he would pop up on me at West Georgia, or sometimes when I'm back in Atlanta, he would be like, hey, I just want to come surprise you or whatever. And that part was believable because his father, I knew for a fact, worked for Delta Airlines. So he was able to kind of fly a little bit more freely than a normal person. So at that time, that part was pretty much believable. Then when I kind of got to meeting his mom and his sisters,
which was awesome.
They were awesome.
Awesome
and
parents.
His stepdad, like, he had wonderful parents. They were very much involved.
His
they loved me.
His siblings, which, you know, were two sisters, they loved Megan. Like, we all got along.
So it was just like a really good situation as far as the family part. And, you know, but then things started getting a little strange. So my dad, he wasn't really feeling him. Like, he always used to feel like it's something off, it's something off. So what my dad did, he used his sports knowledge to kind of expose him. Yeah. So he used to say, oh, okay, you working out there for the Dodgers, bring me a cap. But my dad explained to me that there's a difference in buying a cap like in the store than, I guess, like an official cap. Yeah. So he was trying to see what he was going to bring back. And every time he came back in town, he would always be like, oh, I forgot. Yeah. So my daddy would be like, all right. So he knew he couldn't do it.
He couldn't produce this particular cap.
So he bought a cap from the store, and my daddy was like, bingo, he lying. So, but he didn't tell me at first. He kind of was just like letting it ride to see what happens. So long story short, things started coming out because I started getting harassed by his ex-girlfriend. Like, she searched for my mom's number and harassed her.
Call me.
Yeah, she harassed me saying that she knew what college I went to and all of this stuff. She would always say, like, we live together, this, that, and the third. So by this time, it had been like a minute that we had been together. So me and his mom had a good relationship. So I called her and I was like, what's going on? You know, this girl is saying this, that, and the third. Do you know her? She was like, that's his ex. And I was like, well, she's saying that they live together. And she said, that's not true. So-and-so live with me. And I was like, what? Because he was supposed to live in California. He was just a habitual liar. Like, things I wouldn't even ask, he would just make up stories and give to me. So he just had a problem. This man is really off. Like, he's off. So anyway, I was just like, wait, what do you mean he lives with you? Because keep in mind, when we're going to visit his family, it's not like all the time, because I'm at school in Carrollton and he's supposed to be in California during the week and coming back on the weekend. So the only time that we can see each other really is on the weekends, and that's when we'll go see his family or whatever. So it didn't register to me like, oh, he lives here, because he never took me like upstairs to a room of his. We would always just be down in the living room or in the living area with his family. So she was like, well, you know, so-and-so lived with me. And I was like, no, he told me he lived in California. She said, I almost want to call you a lie because he couldn't have told you that. She was like, no. I said, well, he told me that he's working for the Dodgers and this is in the third. She was like, so he works at a warehouse on Fulton Industrial. He lives with me. I don't know why he would tell you something like that.
He can't drive. He doesn't even have a car.
He doesn't have a car. He had a license, but he didn't have a car. And all of this stuff, I'm just like, what is going on? Like, when he would drive to me. So all of this was just not adding up. Like, and that's when the floodgates just opened. So at this point, I contacted him and I was like, you're a liar. Your mother already told me everything. You know, this relationship is over, blase, blase. So then his mom was so like concerned, like she really she knew that her son had a problem, and she was hoping that our relationship was going to help improve him in some sort of way. But when she found out that he was still back to his old ways, she exposed him, and she was not about to like play with him. So she called me on three-way, and she told me to put her phone on mute. And he was basically like, Mom, how dare you do that? Just call her back and tell her that you like, tell her what I told her so she won't leave me. And she was like, so-and-so, I am not going to lie for you. And he was crying, like he was crying.
She made it where we could hear everything because he was just a habitual liar, and we literally put him. So we're sitting there, and he's like screaming, crying at the top of his lungs, like he was on death's doors because his mom would not lie for him. She was like, I'm not doing this. You know, Megan is a wonderful young lady. You gotta stop this. You keep doing this to these young ladies and all these lies and everything. And I would just, out my mouth literally just drop because I'm like, how he get past me? How?
Yeah, she the detective, baby.
How you get past me? I mean,
he was charming. He had the gift of gab. Like,
charming.
He definitely had the gift of gab, but you know, it was just one of those situations where a person is so insecure within themselves, and it was like he created a whole life that he really wanted, but it didn't exist.
Stop it. Get some help.
And so, I mean, I could go on all day about different stories about him, but that was a situation where my mom, like, actually paid for a background check against, you know, and she was involved. She was asking him questions. She was, like, getting down to the nitty-gritty with him. But he fooled us. He fooled us.
Guys, this is something I've never experienced before. I don't know if y'all ever seen the show on ID called Who the Bleep Did I Marry? Let me tell you something. Megan lived that in real life.
Yeah.
You gotta keep in mind, they were together for almost 2 years?
Yeah, we were together for a little
And it just goes on and on and on. But
it was a lot. Like, this the last story about him, y'all. But real quick, I remember one time he was spending the night. This man, okay, so at the house that I grew up in, there was a large basement downstairs. So if anytime he would spend the night, my parents would let him sleep downstairs and I would sleep upstairs in my room. So, you know, God gave me real good discernment. Me and God, we hear. So he tells me things. So I keep in mind, I never wake up in the middle of the night. Once I'm asleep, I'm asleep. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. But this particular night, God woke me up. He told me to get up. I got set up. Like, okay, God, what's going on? Like, I have something going on.
Yeah.
So he told me to mosey my little cell phone downstairs. So that's what I did. So the way that the basement was set up, he wouldn't be able to hear me coming down the stairs. Like, especially if I didn't have a light or anything like that. And I was so good at maneuvering, I didn't need a light. So I just ran down the stairs and he couldn't hear me. So when I come around the corner, I see the light to his cell phone. He's laying on the couch. And I see the light to his cell phone on, and I see the silhouette of his head, like, looking at the phone. So when I get closer, he starts to realize that I'm down there, and he, like, hurry up and turn the light off on the resolution of the phone. Or, no, he didn't even have time to turn the phone off or close it. He just threw it in the pillows and acted like he was asleep. Now, he was not a hard sleeper. I'm talking about a feather could touch him and he would wake up. He was not a hard sleeper at all. But this particular night, I'm pushing him. Hey, I'm pushing him. He acting like he just dead to the world. Just no, you're not asleep. Okay, stop playing with me. So I just grabbed the phone and he sexting some girl. And I was like,
in my house.
So
in my house.
That's what we doing? Like, this what we doing? So I'm just like, at this point, like, shaking his shoulder. He like, what? Looking all stupid. Like, he talking about what? I was like, so you know, and at this point, you know, I try my best. I don't put my hands on nobody. So I was just like, so that's what you're doing. So go ahead and just get your stuff. I don't care that it's like 3 in the morning. Go ahead and get your stuff and dip, because we not doing this. He was like, what you talking about? What you talking about? It ain't
Y'all, you
nothing
know what she did, right?
It ain't nothing on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing on my phone. This the phone right here. Well, this really my mouse, but this the phone. He deleting it as we speak. It ain't nothing in my phone. Like I was born yesterday. So I let him delete it. So now when he gives it back to me, everything that I just read when he was playing sleep is gone. So then he was like, babe, you just sleepwalking. You just delirious. You just dreaming it. Just go back to sleep.
Wow.
I'm sleepwalking. And he really, and when he would tell a lie, he would stick to that lie.
I'm talking about.
He would, I could walk in on him, like, messing with somebody else, and he would tell me that I didn't see what I just saw. My eyes are lying, not him. You know, like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
But you know what she did, y'all? So after all that, she came and woke me up, because I think your friend Brianna was there at the time. And she came and woke me up, and I said, Meg, what's going on? So she's telling me this, and I'm like, what? I said, hold on. So I went and got my robe, and I went downstairs. I said, so you mean to tell me that you got the audacity to be in my house, texting, sexting, whatever y'all doing, flexing, texting, whatever you're doing sexual stuff on the phone in my house. And he was trying to convince me as well that Megan, saw something that wasn't there, and just, she's just tired and everything. So each time he's saying this, I'm getting angrier and angrier, because I was like, you really think that my child is that stupid? Y'all, keep in mind, I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. He ain't got no call. So how you gonna, I don't care, but you got to get up out of here.
Yeah, he was out on that curb, baby. Don't play with me like that.
That guy, that's like a whole video by itself.
Yeah, we probably should rethought these. Okay, guys, so we got off on a bleep tangent, but the last little Smothered story was just about my dating process in general. Like, if I met someone that, I didn't know before, didn't know through mutual friends or something like that, then my parents would probably, like, one example, the guy asked me to go to the movies at Atlantic Station. So, and it was like a 10 o'clock movie or something like that. And my mom was like, oh, Ed, that's my dad, you want to go to the movies? And he was like, yeah, let's go to the movies. I'm like, man, y'all gone somewhere. But sure they were in the movie with me. I was so bored on that date. Oh my gosh, it was a boring date. So I was texting my mama the whole time in the movie while she was in there with me. So I was texting her, talking to her like, Mom, he ain't it, and she like, girl, what happened? So we supposed to be watching the movie. We texting each other. But then at the end, he actually ended up holding the door open for my parents, and he didn't even realize that they were my parents. But it was good because he didn't even walk me to the car. Y'all know how Atlantic Station car garage is. He didn't even walk me to the car, y'all.
Well, you know what? Because like I said, when, if she's meeting somebody and, like she said or whatever, and I'm like, oh, you going on a date? Then we going on a date. So
she'll get my aunt, and they'll be at the restaurant with me. They'll be sitting at a different table, and I just be like, bruh, what are y'all doing?
But y'all, let me tell you one time, like, she was going on this date with this guy. Ed went for it tonight. He's like, I'm not dealing with you tonight. I was like, well, you know what? I'm going. So she had a date up at Camp Creek. So I said, well, I'm going to follow you. And because she know the rules. You don't park next to folks, especially on Norm. You know what I'm saying? So she got in her car. I got in my car. So she pulled up. He told her what car, he was in and everything. And she got out. And I just parked somewhere else. I didn't park right because I wasn't parking too close, but I'm looking. And I was like, because she had sent me a picture of him and everything, and I'm trying to get the vibe. So anyway, guys, they were walking, And so while they're walking, I kind of get out and I'm snapping pictures and he kind of looking, I duck. I'm just trying to get any kind of pictures I could. And so when they went on in the movie, I got to think he's probably gonna want to walk her to a car, and I was like, Jackie, you gotta think about this. So I sat there for a good while. So I said, you know what? I jumped out, and he one of them people, back in all the time. And then so happened he had backed in with some sticker bra. What they call them?
Them sticky bushes
that
with
hurt.
pointy things on
So at this time, I guess other people come, of course, coming into the theater. So I was like, man, I got to get this tag. So I was taking pictures of the car, and the people looking at me, I don't care. They're like, what's she doing? And so then was trying to get in the back to get the picture of the tag. I'm trying to get a picture of the tag. Then I saw the little security thing come out, jumped out, I was like,
this horrible.
I'm all scratched up. I'm trying to picture. And so people are like, it's a lady over there in the bushes. I'm like trying to get out of there and get back in the car.
Danger.
I'm just trying to. And so I'm like, look, I don't feel right about this. When that movie about to end, text me, because I'm coming back to the parking lot just so I could see. But at the time, I was like, let me just get this. You know what I'm saying? And look, I'm telling you guys, like, I be parking places. They be about to tow my car. I be getting tickets. Bruh, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm just be ready. Because these people are crazy.
So, yeah, you guys, I know that was a lot. That's not even... That's like not even a portion.
That brother need like a whole series on his own, like for real.
Yeah, we did give you a little bit of my dating experiences. So, we have episode 3 of the series coming next. Mommy, what is episode 3 going to be?
We're going to tell you how we really, really became close. And believe me, guys, there was an automatic closeness, but as it went on, was a lot of hurt, and it was a lot. Just to say, life experiences, definitely we were close, but life experiences really
made us closer.
It definitely made us closer.
Mm-hmm.
Like even now, like this girl, she ain't gonna make a move without calling me.
Like, it's so bad that I just call her for literally everything. So, we're gonna just kind of talk about why we are the way that we are. Not that we owe anybody an explanation, but since we're doing this Smothered series, we're just gonna kind of dive into the emotional aspects of why we are the way that we are. And we greatly appreciate you guys watching our video.
We do. And we hope to see you guys on even the following. Listen, what they say? What Chris Tucker said, the girl say, push the goddamn button.
Oh, God.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the subscribe button, sis.
Hey, because you know why? We are smothered.
See y'all later.
Bye. Is this how you do it?
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Bye.